So hello everyone. I have a special treat for you today, as with me are two absolutely exceptional dancers called Arina and Andre Haykal. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello.
And the podcast audio listeners won't hear this, but the ones who see the video see that you have an absolutely amazing background. So Christmas, so much
Yes.
Christmas feeling. And today we'll talk about a special method, a practice that Arina and Andre have developed. It's a practice that gives you access to your inner self through movement and music and connection. And I've had the first-hand privilege to try it out, to see how it feels. And I felt very inspired. And I thought that it would be great to have an episode where you talk about this, what you've developed, how you've come to this, of your own stories, your own backgrounds, how it was before, and so on. But first, I want to ask about this Christmas tree, because you have so much going on there under the Christmas tree. What is
Yes.
this about?
I hope you can see that. So this is Lebanese tradition. So Christmas tree and like the Christmas lights, they come, I think, from pagan traditions, where they used to take the fir tree and try to. Actually, I learned that from Sherlock Holmes stories, that they try to decorate the inside of the home to match the outside. So that's why, for example, like when we have the winter, we try to put like, I don't know, snowflakes inside. We try to put the tree inside. We try to light up the tree. So actually to reflect nature inside of our home. But then with Christianity, and I've come from Lebanon, from Christian family, and with Christianity, they they took this pagan holiday and they adapted it to like Jesus being born and all of that part. And in Christianity, the focus is on not on Christmas, but on Jesus being born.
Mhm.
So they used to, they still do, like put the Christmas tree, and under the Christmas tree, they built a village that demonstrated Jesus like
Where he was born.
yeah, like the birth story.
Mhm.
And then when I came to Estonia, I didn't do it actually for many years. When I started to be with Arina and we had a family, I started this tradition again, but we did not find the statues and the things that we need to make that story. So we just made a
Christmas spirit.
Christmas village, I don't know, Sherlock Holmes style, like city. So yeah, it looks complicated, but actually it's quite easy to do.
But it looks awesome. Complicated isn't the word that I would use, but you indeed have an entire village under a Christmas tree. I'm only seeing gifts and presents. You know, maybe a sock somewhere nearby. You have a sock there, I see also. But
Right, yeah,
but this is very cool. This is very cool.
thank you.
But all right, guys, let's get to the topic. I know you've been dancing for a very long time, professionally together. Is it already 2 decades or not yet?
Should be, yeah, around that. Maybe a bit more
For each,
for each.
yes.
We started like early. I started very early, but it was just like a hobby. Then it developed in something more professional at the age of 16. So yeah, it should be like 20 years already.
Yeah, same for me. So I started with ballroom dancing, went there by chance with some friends, and I stayed. Everyone stopped after the first class. I don't know why I stayed. I understood that maybe like 18 years later, after like all this time dancing, why I stayed and how dancing has helped me. So we will get into that story, like of how like starting something that you don't know why you need it and you stick to it, and then you develop things out of it that can help you and help other people like develop. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. So different gifts being given to you after you stick with something for enough years.
Absolutely.
And I've seen you guys dance several times. It's absolutely beautiful. Your connection, how you're flowing on the dance floor. But this isn't the practice that you've developed now. This isn't meant for specifically for dancers. You don't need some crazy long experience in dancing. That's what really struck me, that this can be used anywhere, and how you can use movement to really connect to yourself and to connect to others. And I know, like, I discovered dancing for myself some years ago. And I mean, dancing in pairs. I've always loved to dance on my own, but then it was really scary. It was really scary in the beginning, and some parts are still a bit scary. And the connecting part of really allowing yourself to be you, not like really trying to be someone else or impress, or I'm always worried about the other person, like how they're doing, and if I did something wrong, or there's so much stuff that comes up. And I really see now, I see dancing as like a microcosm for life. Like everything is there, absolutely everything, and the whole dance scene reflects that. So
Right.
tell us about this method then.
Right. I think before we get into the method, like so that the method would make a bit more sense, I think it would make sense to talk a bit about how we arrived to this, what we have seen along the way, and how it has helped us and how it can help other people. So I would take it with that.
Mm-hmm.
So with Arina, we have been dancing together for around 10 years now. And before that, each of us had their own journey with dancing. And I went from professional ballroom dancing to
which is couple dance.
Couple dance, yeah.
And I was mostly in a solo dance where you take care only of yourself.
Right. And when we got together, we got into social dancing together. I was like a bit dancing socially before, and Arina also started a bit dancing socially before. And when I say like by social dancing, for the people who don't know, so there are different types of dances. Some dances are professional dances. Like, for example, you can think about this competitive samba, cha-cha, rumba, or like even if you go like to sports like ballet, or like artistic profession like ballet or contemporary or something like that. And then you have social dances, which are meant to be for mainly adults who have never danced in their life, to experience. Part of it is social experience, where you can connect to other people and meet new people and have fun, like many things that adults do. Like they find some activities to lighten up the life a bit, to have fun a bit. And but because of both our professional backgrounds, we took social dancing very seriously. So as we do. But yeah, you would like to add something to that?
No, continue.
So when we arrived, like when I came to Estonia, I've been living in Estonia for 11 years now. I'm originally from Lebanon. When I came to Estonia, I think, I met Arina directly, and we started our dance studio, which is Euphoria Studio. And we started to do the social dancing, and we started even to prepare like some shows in social dancing. And the focus was, like it has to be the best, like everything. You have to be the best. You have to do everything correctly. And from the social dancing, I always, and Arina also always had some kind of, not dissatisfaction, but we always saw some patterns that how social dancing can help you and how social dancing can hurt you as well. Because like any pattern that you can take from your own life, you can just put it into any activity that you do. You can, like, for example, you play squash. I picked up squash. You can see, like, I don't know, squash players who are very aggressive when they're playing, and this kind of like all the anger comes out in the game, and all the competitiveness, and like I have to win this game because it's the most world championship, and actually you're just playing like a social game on a Sunday. And the same thing comes when you go to social dancing. If you have like part of like fear of what others think, or fear of like impressing someone, or I don't know, or even like fear of giving too much or fear of giving too little, or like, you know, so anything that you have in your normal life can appear in the physical body through dancing. And us noticing those patterns and wanting to help always people. So like, I don't know, people come to us, I don't know, I want to learn salsa. And we have this other idea, like, okay, we will give you salsa, but we want to also give you something that would help you really in life, like not just like learn the dance, but learn the, how do you say, like the holistic feeling or movement that can be associated with the dance.
To understand why you actually want it.
Right. Oh, that's
Because
this,
there should be a reason. It's not just I like to dance, but there is in your subconscious something like I want to go there to meet someone, or I want to go there to release the fear of being close to the opposite gender, for example, like many other reasons.
Right. And so in combination with the dancing and with the like our journey of self development. So Arina has been, I don't know, I want to call it sage. I don't know what to call, like she has been in connection with all kind of worlds since, I don't know, she was 5. I have been out of this. Maybe I have been closing it. I grew up in a religious country. Like in Lebanon, there is Muslims and Christians and many other religions, and this is the main thing that drives the country. So religion drives the country. You have to be part of a religion. The religion defines what you should do, how you should act, and you are confined to this. So opening up to something like the idea, okay, maybe I can connect through the, I don't know, like through the field to someone else other than God, you know, because you can only connect to God easily when you pray, but other than God, I cannot connect to anyone else. So this kind of thing, it's not said out loud, but it's kind of like anything like you see in history, anything related, like not magic, I want to say, but anything related to something that the religion doesn't say is okay, is frowned upon, or is like, yeah, it's not put in good light. And then stepping, so from Arina's side, she was already ready. And then me being with Arina was a kind of a journey. So Arina's big heart or big love to me has given me space to be angry, to rebel, to struggle, and then to reach a point where I can see from a holistic point of view the patterns that I have taken from the country, the patterns that I have taken from the family, the patterns that I have taken from the religion, the patterns that I have put into that dancing into my everyday life, and to start to understand how the dancing, which is the main thing in both of our lives, connects all these dots. And yeah, and I think 2 or 3 years ago, so I've been working, Arina has been working with me, or I've been working with Arina unconsciously to heal all those things, to be able to create something. When you're in a low energy field, I don't know, like the main things are I don't know, drinking, sex, and money. This is the main thing that you think about. Like, okay, I need to make a lot of money. This is very, very important. And if I make a lot of money, all my problems will be solved. This is like very root thing. This will block you, and this will not allow you to be free and creative, because this energy will only control you. Or for example, I don't know, the sexual energy, it takes over you. And the only thing that you think about is like, how can I get with this person? How can I get with that person? It's like, again, like a conquest. And freeing myself, and also Arina helping me with that, and also from your side as well, like removing the anger towards all of that. You want to get into that or not? Okay. So and me helping Arina with that allowed us to free like enough energy to seek more and more resources and more knowledge from different people, from different resources. One of those people, for example, that I would love to mention is Margit Herma, which has helped me immensely, like in the last 2 years. So if the people that don't know Margit is a healer, is a shaman. She has a lot of scientific knowledge also, other than the spiritual, like being and spiritual connection, that has helped me to bridge myself from, okay, I want to understand this logically, to actually this exists. Because for my logical brain, if you just tell me, you know, like, I don't know, do something, or like, I don't know, connect emotionally to someone, or free something, or connect to your previous life, or whatever, I would look at you like, are you sure like this is possible? Are you sure are you crazy already, or what happened to you? Especially when you come from like a, how do you call it, like a closed society, I would say, where people think that everything is okay, but actually religion drives everything. And going through all that and reaching a point where we want to dance, but we don't want to dance one dance, or we don't want to dance in a way that the rules of the dance say you have to dance to this music, you only can do these moves, and the person has to memorize these moves. It doesn't matter. In ballroom dancing, it's even, I would say, worse, because in ballroom dancing, you memorize the choreography, and then you have to dance this choreography to any dance, to any music. So connecting to the music and not just making the actions and moving your body is even like more extreme, because then it's difficult to express yourself how you want. Your how to say, like, the space for expression is very limited to how you interpret that move, but it's the same move. So if you feel something different with the music, how do you say, like, improvisation is not that easy to do in ballroom dancing. But in social dancing, improvisation should be like the main thing, but still you are bound to what the dance gives you. And the thing that we had with Arina is we always wanted to change. Like 1 month, we wanted, okay, like, we're gonna put all our focus, we're gonna do like salsa. Now we're gonna like focus to become salsa superstars. You know, we're gonna like make salsa videos, we're gonna make salsa choreographies, teach salsa. And then, you know, a few months later, we get bored. And then, okay, now,
And then we took a break,
right.
and we understood that dancing is dancing, that it's not a specific style. There is the music, and there is your feelings, and there is the partner, and there is a connection, and then you dance.
Absolutely.
So shortly, we applied our spiritual knowledge on our dancing experience.
Right. And again, like what Arina said here, she highlighted that by taking a break and stepping a bit out of something, we always were able to take what we needed to learn from it and grow something bigger. So for example, me stepping out of the country, us stepping out of the dances, so we can actually see. And it happened because we started a family. So when we had our little child, we had to step away. We had to make space, to give space for her, to give time for her. And this gave us the
Beautiful result.
absolutely.
So for the longest time, you were both in very rigid structures of the dance and with very little room for improvisation, but you always were seeking for something new, learning new dances, looking for change, and then realized that dancing is dancing. It's not about the specific moves. Yeah.
I think we were just rebelling everyone's opinion. Like, we enter, for example, tango community, and they tell us, you know, you dance salsa, so you are not accepted here. And we like trying to show that no, we actually can dance everything and to be good at everything. And now we found that what we actually good at.
Yeah, I think
which is dancing.
right. And
So-
something like, just to add one last thing, something that we realized that, so for example, each style of dance, it doesn't matter in which community of dancing you are, ballet or like social or ballroom. For example, each style of dance gives you an emotion. So if you're dancing salsa, you have this happy emotion, and then like, or energetic.
The music.
The music sets this up. And then when you dance Brazilian zouk, you have this, it can be like flowing, and you know, like you're in a state of zen or like flow. You dance tango, you're in a state of passion, in a state of like sorrow, or in a state of like this kind. And life has all of these feelings. So saying that I'm gonna dance salsa all the time, it means saying, you know, like, I'm like this all the time. That's it. That's my life. I don't feel sorrow, I don't feel flow, I don't feel, I don't know, even for example, like bachata has a lot of sexual energy, or a lot of how do you say this, flirting and like things like that, and saying, okay, I'm gonna be flirting all the time, non-stop. Like this
I
is,
wake up like
I wake up flirting, I wake up doing like, so for us, we want to experience all of that all the time, because this is how every day you can do all of them basically. So why stick to one emotion? And yeah.
So you've reached a point where you've put all this experience together and started to develop a method that actually works for everyone. Yeah, you don't have to be a dancer for that. Need to stress this again, that dance community isn't that big, and of course they benefit also from this practice, I'm sure. But this
Right.
is for, who is it for actually? And first, how does it look like still? Like, what will I be doing then if I come and practice with you? Do I need to be with a partner? Can I come alone? So
Right. Right. So first, like we call this method, we call it Numa movement, and Numa comes from the word Numa. So it's like like a similar phonetically, it sounds the same, which means like the spirit, or the like the soul. And the idea is through movement to connect to that spirit and soul, because our body has so much more knowledge than our single threaded brain. So when I'm talking to you right now, I can think only about that. If something happens and I don't know, a noise comes, then my whole focus shifts to that, and I cannot talk to you anymore. And we think with our brain that we can know everything, and we can how do you say, plan everything, or like decide on things. But actually the body is picking up thousands and like unconscious thousands and thousands and thousands of things on a moment basis. So what we do with this practice is we access that knowledge. And how do we access that knowledge? We have made it into 3 stages. One stage is movement and inviting the energy and opening to the universe through movement on your own. So there's gonna be some like movement exercises and
to
like
connect to yourself.
yes. So first we connect to ourselves. This is very important. If you don't have a connection with yourself, then you cannot connect to anyone or anything. So getting into yourself, understanding yourself, and feeling how your body reacts to different movements, how your body reacts to different music through movement. And the movement is very simple. You don't have to be a dancer to do that. If you are a dancer, of course, it can help because you feel your body better. But the idea of this movement is also to get you into your body, to give you the feeling of the body. Because if you are sitting all day, our body is totally numb. It's like, you know, you can just go put it in a box and just use your brain to walk around and do everything like all day. But our body needs to be activated first. So we activate the body, we get into the body. Part 2 is we do it with one other person. This other person can be your partner, can be your parent, can be your friend, can be like of the same gender, of the opposite gender. It
Can be
doesn't,
stranger.
can be stranger, it doesn't matter. The idea is about one-on-one communication, one-on-one connection, and your experience is going to be totally different depending who that person is. So for example, with my wife, with Arina, we have our things that we are working on all the time. Like any relationship, it's very healthy, like to talk about things, to argue about things, not to conform. I listen to you, or I listen to you. So we have to give and take. I have to give her sometimes things, she has to maybe take it, sometimes no, sometimes she will give me something back, and then maybe I have to take it. So it's all about giving and receiving. But usually we give and receive with the words, with the how to say, with the emotions, but we can also give and receive with the
Or
body.
we are saying that we receive, but we're actually not receiving.
Right.
But in the dancing, you cannot to do that. Or you receive the leading, or you don't receive it. So
Right.
you cannot to hide there your emotions.
Right. And this like kind of getting the awareness into the body. I know like a lot of people know about body language. So for example, I'm saying, hey Preet, I'm really enjoying this podcast, and I'm like, okay, goodbye. You know, like just like this is very exaggerated, but the body has this very subtle uh like reactions and information that you pass to another person, and that other person reacts on those, and then you give and take, you give and take, and we learn how to give. Like, for example, like we were talking about how this can help people. So for example, for men, it can help men to learn how to give without hesitation, or it can help men to feel how to invite someone, or how to accept if a person does not want this invitation. So if I invite someone and the person rejects it, how does my body react? How can I change my plan with the body if this invitation does not work? And same things for the
For women, I think the most common thing that women this time, they like to lead in life. They take high positions at work, and when you meet this person on the dance floor, she's trying to lead you directly. She doesn't want to listen what you suggest her to do. And in dancing, you can like work on this problem to make the woman softer, to start her, so she can start to learn how to listen.
yeah,
Right?
and to get basically into this, like, because the woman has a very strong feminine energy, and how do you say, the work life or the family life or any like this kind of rushing turns it off. And same thing for the man. So the man has like how do you say, the strong masculine energy, and now they are afraid to use it because they are afraid that this can be destructive. And same thing, for example, if you are working, like we talked about it, like if you are working with how do you say, like getting close to another person, and this person, for example, is not my wife or is not like your partner, and being afraid of these emotions, like, okay, maybe like it's too close, maybe like, I should just put myself in a box and like get myself away from the opposite gender all the time, and this forever. And this turns off like this root energy that can actually drive a lot of things in your life. Like if it's used in a positive way, of course, you can use it in a destructive way. And not being afraid to give out those emotions, or to share, and also to receive. And as Arina was saying about the part for the women, like to feel this feminine energy, it doesn't mean that women should not give. They should give as well, but
But
all,
there should be balance.
yes, exactly, there should be balance. And for men and women, like giving and receiving. And going back, so this was the second part, and this is, I think, it's very important part. And the third part is working with the group. So even, for example, me and my wife, we are living together, we are doing everything together, but we live in a society. And this society is going to always pull you and push you. And like, while she is giving me some information, while she's giving me some feelings, other members in society are giving me other pulls and other feelings and other movements.
How to respond, how to listen, what part to accept. This is what we are trying to.
Exactly. And
find.
yeah, and through movement in the group, you will be able also to feel that, and to feel how you react, for example, when your partner is there and another part of the group is moving you in another way, or is pulling you in another way. So it's like a
Life on the stage.
I think it's more like a sneak peek into your true feelings. This is it. And like if you use it,
This is where you can see what you're afraid of.
yeah,
Even if you're hiding this feeling from yourself. But for example, if there is, like you said, your partner, and someone is interacting with the couple in a dance, and what will be your emotion, what will be your reaction, and you like reveal yourself for yourself.
should I like hold? Should I move and block? Should I like I don't know, should I pull away? Should I
But there is nothing what you should do.
Yeah.
Yes, the most important here is just for yourself to open this feeling, to open this knowledge, and then if you want, you start to work on it. You
Right.
start to improve, you start to change something if you didn't like something.
Right. And I think this is quite important, that everything in this circles, or this, even like if it's one-on-one with me or with Arina, or if we're doing it in a group, everything is an invitation. Nothing is like, like you have to do this, you have to do that. Everything is like initiated by an invitation to do something. If you don't want, don't do it.
if you want to work just on yourself, you can take your space and
Yeah,
just be alone, move alone, find the connection with yourself if you don't want to work with a partner
right,
or with a group.
right. So it's all up to you. You need your time. Each person needs different time. There's no one box that fits everyone. So this is like kind of like a framework, I would say, that can be used differently with by each person to reach the point to understand the self and to connect to the body and to the true emotions. And this can help you in other places in life to enlighten things that you can work on further.
Mhm. It sounds to me like, yeah, the last description, the last 5 minutes was already so much bigger than dancing. Like all the principles sounded very, very universal. And
Right.
I forgot for a time that you're even talking about dancing anymore, or movement even, let's say, because this pretty much applies to everything, the giving and receiving. So the first step was that you connect to yourself, then you connect to someone else, and it's a wildly different feeling if you connect to your partner or some stranger or man or woman, or depending on whoever they are, what they are feeling at the moment. And then third is the wider context of the group, and somehow relating to the group as well.
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly. You're ready.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Okay, the one example that came to me was, I did the practice with you, Andre.
Yeah.
Um, tried it, and first of all, like I've been for years, then if I've been dancing, then I've been learning to lead women and accepting to some extent as well their leading. But then it was very interesting to try it out with you, that trying to lead you, or then even harder, allowing you to lead me somehow. And by leading is not some complicated dance moves, but simply that, that we were just, our hands were touching, and then you just give a suggestion, that you want to move the hand somewhere. And then I can't really hide it, because it's such a split second. I'm like, oh, resisting, or if I am giving the invitation and then Andre, you refuse, you reject, you don't want, then I noticed in me that the next time I made the same movement, then I was like very much more hesitant to do that, like, and then and then you pointed this out to me, and I was like, oh yes, exactly. So I'm like, oh, I did something wrong, or something
How
went.
could I?
How could I? And I
Yes.
can't, like, I didn't have the same confidence anymore, and it was totally impossible to hide it as well. So just the body immediately tells, what's what. And then I love it that it's just the first step of noticing, which is a huge step. You notice something that you have. Like, that's what meditation is as well. It's not like some magic happens to you suddenly. You just become quiet enough that you notice what's going on underneath the
Exactly.
surface.
Yes.
So it's either you accept it. If you just accept that, okay, this is what it is what it is. And then it's your choice if you want to do something about it or not. So, and it's not, I assume, that you can be somehow ready in this practice, that you're done now and complete, but it's just a practice, like
Exactly.
is any other, if it's movement, sound, or anything else. But people who enjoy movement, or want to connect to themselves more, or learn how to connect to others, then this seems to be such a great universal tool for that. Like learning very much about my body.
Exactly. This
I
is
think it's a perfect tool for those who doesn't like to move.
Mm.
This is when everything
Yeah.
is like
stiff or
not
stuck.
moving water in the vessel, yeah. But this water has to move, and this is where you can start to feel your body, the abilities of your body, the possibilities,
Right.
to start to move all the energy, and then the life starts to move around you.
Absolutely. It's like if you think about it, like what is more important, your, I don't know, like your stomach or your brain? Or maybe you would say like the brain is more important than the stomach, but if you remove the stomach, you die. So the same idea here, like if you are using only your brain to process everything in your life, and this whole thing under this brain, you are not using except like for utilitarian use, you know, like I walk there, I sit there, I use my brain. You know, so using, activating the body and understanding that the body can give the brain and your like logical brain, like when I say brain, I mean like logical brain, a lot of information that can be very helpful for you to open up, to feel good, to really feel good. Something I was talking with Arina, that uh, my sometimes my logical brain is slower than my body. For example, before, when I argued with Arina, I used to feel a lot of anger in my body. I used to feel a lot of, you know, like physical pain, like, you know, someone is I don't know, trying to physically hurt me, and it was like an argument. And now, when we're arguing, my body is totally relaxed, but my brain wants to continue. You know, my brain, no, I have to continue this idea because I'm very important. And my body is like, I don't care, you know, like I'm relaxed.
It's
the-
chill. It's
Yeah,
chill.
yeah,
Calm
exactly.
down, you know.
Yes. So we have these patterns that, you know, we have to stick to them because we have been doing them for a long time. And when you have part of you not doing this pattern anymore, then you have part of you, or like, you know, like I don't know, like a good side, bad side, if you want to say, which everything has a good side and a bad side, which is good in the sense that your body can tell you, okay, like maybe you should not be reacting like that because I don't care. I'm not like getting stressed. I'm not ready to run away, you know, like the fight or flight kind of thing. So your frontal cortex, like the logical part, is trying to get his ego to pass. But actually all the rest of us, your unconscious, the body, everything is chill. We already experienced that through the body. So yeah.
Mhm. So it's like the practice really comes to life if you just start with a small connection with yourself and notice something about yourself. And then you have the choice if you want to do something about it or not.
Right.
And you just turn, like coming into the state of flow requires, state of flow actually means that your prefrontal cortex is shut down. It's already like, it's almost or completely turned off. And you're able to, let's say, move through life or move through the moment with a sense of ease and lightness. And that's what flow state means. But you can't really do that if the brain is controlling.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like blocking all the information from passing to the rest of the body.
Mm-hmm. I noticed, for example, that you said that some people don't like to move. Arina said that it's 4 people who don't really like to move. Also possible. I know that I like to move. I like to move on my own a lot. Like it was you, like you did 10 years of dancing on your own, and just you are responsible only for yourself. But then when I started with the pairs, couples dances, then it was really terrifying in the beginning because it's such a big mixed bag of emotions, and I really can't differentiate one from another. Maybe it's just a whole ton of anxiety, or just the fact that I need to somehow take into account the other person and like what they're feeling. Like, am I enough? Is this movement good enough? And all the million other things that come up. Then it's like it was very enlightening to feel it, and actually quite uncomfortable as well for quite a while. And then when I got used to this over time, then it became much easier to suggest something or accept something and to communicate. But a lot of subconscious stuff comes up, and I think it's very valuable to give it a language as well, to give it words. Okay, so differentiate. So what was this? Was this anxiety? Was this fear of something? Am I hesitating? And how am I hesitating in life? Am I moving as fluidly as I could be or as I want to be? And how rigid, like which places are rigid? So this is like an observation it seems, self-observation. And it's very valuable if there are guys like you who show me this like very vividly, because you pointed out, like, I thought I can hide something from you, but then no, like all the details of where I'm tense or which part is hesitating, which part of me. And then this emotion immediately carried over to you, and then you were just reflecting it back to me. And then I'm like, oh, yes, well, that's true.
Right. Yeah, and this is like, it's quite valuable what you said, reflecting back to you. So there's no right right or wrong, and what I'm reflecting back to you is what I'm receiving from you. So so this is also my interpretation of what you're saying. So there is no that what you're doing is right or what I'm saying is right. It's just a circle of feelings into emotions, into interpretation, into you take it, you leave it. It's also your decision. So yes.
So let's go through again. Who is this for? Like, what does it do for women? What does it do for men? And let's say I want to take my partner and we can learn something together. So let's try to go through each of these cases separately so people can see if it's for them or not.
Right.
Maybe Arina, you can talk about women. You said, it's just, you said it's about accepting the other person without fear and also giving without hesitation. But what else?
I was talking about women lacking the femininity,
Or feminine energy.
feminine energy, yes. When they feel that they cannot take or accept something from the man, or just from the partner, opposite gender or the same gender.
When they're afraid of that also.
Yes, when they have fear to talk to them or to communicate in any way. For example, in social dance, people come, but they don't realize all this. And it appears only when they start to dance with someone, how afraid they are of the person who is leading them. And some people afraid to do the mistake. Some people afraid to not to hear and what he will think then about me, that I'm so bad. And so basically they dance always in a stress. There is no freedom.
And these patterns are the same in life. Sorry to add to that. So if like you are with a partner and you're always afraid that I have to be correct always, I have to do what he or she wants, then also it just carries over.
Or I cannot to tell him no.
Yes.
I cannot to refuse his invitation. It's very actually important also for and women and men to be able to say no when they really don't want it. And the leading also, if you lead somewhere and you really don't want to go there, why should I go there? I don't want to do a turn now. And the person should learn how to listen.
By the person, I think you mean the leader, the person who is giving also.
Leader.
So the person is like anyone who is giving is receiving, and anyone who is receiving is giving. You are always in the state of exchange. You are never like the main giver or the main receiver. So yeah, and this is highlighted also in this. So if for example, like a man is inviting for a hug and the woman does not want that, instead of like, I don't know, like pushing the person away or like
Suggesting something else.
Yeah, suggesting something else, moving to something else, moving something where both will feel comfortable, not fighting basically to not accept that. So
it's basically for, if we talk about women, it's for them who wants to change their relationship with themselves, with opposite gender, with their partners. Even if you have, I don't know, problem to communicate with your family,
children,
or to children, yes, your parents. And when we start to do this couple work, it's not only about listening the guy what the leader gives you. It's about just a simple communication.
Yeah.
How you talk to your mother. Can you hear her? Or you just always say yes, 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 no, 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 just I know better. Right? And here the same.
Our core beliefs like drive us, and our parents' core beliefs are different. So yeah. And I think like moving on like to men, the main thing is giving without hesitation, but still be listening. So like there is this thing now about toxic male energy, and society now is trying to turn this off. And they're turning off the dial to the negative, basically, where guys are afraid to be guys anymore. And being a man is something beautiful, is something strong, is something very grounded. And feeling that you can be a man, you can be strong, you can have this energy with you, and you will not hurt, or you will listen also when you are moving this energy forward. So not being afraid of this energy mainly. Or for example, like how your body reacts when you get close to someone, or when, I don't know, and it can be, again, like as Arina said, in different cases. Is this person someone you like, or is this person like of the same gender that you like feel uncomfortable? Okay, I'm uncomfortable being close to a guy because this is how a guy should be. There is no how a guy should be. It's just be confident with your energy and use it how you feel, and then your body will tell you all of that. So lastly, like I think for couples, when you get comfortable with someone, you get into your patterns, and then your body stops feeling what you really want. Like for example, if the woman is dominating at home or the man is dominating at home, then the other person is just in a passive state all the time, and they feel they don't have a word that they can put out, or they don't have a energy or like a direction that they can drive the family. For example, with Arina, we have a family. We both are very opinionated. So she has her way of doing things. I have my way of doing things. And finding this balance where we don't just do Arina and then our family becomes Arina, and we don't just do Andre and our family becomes Andre, because our family has its own personality. And this is in the case of family. So it can help a lot to find this balance with I am satisfied, or I feel at ease with how this family is moving, and she feels at ease with how this family is moving. So there is flow. We are both flowing. Maybe we're not flowing in the same way. Each person has their own pattern, but still it is in harmony for the group, which is the family in this case.
Sure,
like for people if they have problems in a relationship, they cannot to find how to say compromise, yes. And this is where it can be found, it can be healed. For couples who don't have any problems and they come on the dance floor and ta-da, they have something.
Because sometimes, like in life, a lot of people try to avoid problems. So they think if I don't have problems, everything is good. And usually what the pattern is that the person is just getting away from their true self just to appease the partner. And then you get on the dance floor, and as on the dance floor you get more free, or you get more into the body, then the body starts to get the things out that no, actually I don't want to do that, I want to do this. And then the person who is always giving is confused, but you always listen to me, what is happening like now, like you have to listen to me,
and it was just pretending.
This is our pattern basically. So,
and usually this is happening with older couples. I mean, when they are many years together and the guys are just, they used to it.
Yes.
They just accepted it. They don't like it, but they accept it because they live together for 50 years. What to do? Life is over. And then they come to dance and they cannot define their language.
Right.
And the women start to, you do this wrong, you do this wrong. How can you do this?
Right.
How can you do not to lead me correctly? Look at all of them.
Right. Yeah.
But even just a normal dance club, they just start to fight and then they don't come back because it's a huge stress for them. Here we are trying to heal it. we're trying to show them what is possible, and try, for example, for a woman, we tell her how to listen, that he is actually right here. He can be right.
He can be right. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
He's allowed to be right. And also for the man, like you have to feel like you have a, maybe physically you are much stronger than a woman. Like, I don't know, some men. So here, some women are stronger physically than men. So here basically how you can have this power physically, but still be soft to her power also. So you can have this balance in movement or in energy. This was a really funny example about this old people.
So what I hear about the couples is about giving space really
Yes,
for each other, for each other's feelings, for each other's whole being, and still having a great connection.
absolutely.
And then about men, it was about really unleashing the strength of your masculinity without worrying that I will hurt the woman or my partner or whoever I'm dancing with, that it's too much or I'm doing something wrong, or that I'm allowed to feel this.
Right.
It's not shameful. I don't need to be afraid of this. And then for women, it sounds by your description that it's mostly about safety, like feeling safe with the male energy. And if in the day-to-day life you're more dominating or at work or really taking these leadership roles up, then there is a place where you can learn to let go of control and really surrender.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's, you put it beautifully. Thank you.
So this practice, you will have probably many workshops. The first one already being very soon on the 7th of January. And who is expected to come? And what are the arguments? What are the arguments then that people come up with, in my head, that, oh, this sounds very scary, or what if I come with my partner now and then, all is brought to light, this sounds terrible, why would I want to come there? Is it like going to therapy or something? Or for who is this for then now?
I think all the fears that you just brought up, it will come up in people. But I would invite, again, as we would invite in dance, I would invite in this case for the 7th of January, our first circle with this in a bigger group. We have been working individually until now, so one-on-one, and it has yielded like really amazing results. And working in a group is going to be very interesting. And if you have that fear, is the time when you should come, because when the fear comes up, invite that fear to go and work with it. And again, as we stated during our conversation, that it's going to be on your pace. So even if you come to the circle and that fear comes up and you don't want to deal with it that day, then don't deal with it that day. Just feel it, be in it, and take it. And maybe next time you will be ready to deal with it. Maybe in a year you will be ready to deal with it. But the faster you deal with those fears that block you, the more you change your life from survival, or just, like, I'm just going to pass the days until it finishes, to basically getting into this creation, or getting into this higher frequency where you feel the vibrations, like the beauty of life, the energy of life. And of course, not every day is going to be like that, but still you will be realizing all of that as it happens, and you will have this power to create rather than survive. So
it's like
those who wants to become free,
yeah,
to taste the freedom.
taste
the freedom. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
It about courage. I love this saying that fear is courage becoming known.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and you said to deal with the fears. Dealing is simply feeling them, yeah, accepting them, and then they pass through you, and something else comes behind it and tells you, okay, this was only that, and nothing bad happened. I was simply worried. Worrying is that you fear that fear comes, especially
Yes.
stupid.
Yes. This is, when like we get into this pattern of talking to ourselves. And then,
Yes.
and then you just keep talking to yourself, and you just in the end get tired just because you spoke to yourself so much, and then nothing happens. So
Yeah, or I talk to other people in my head, and then are resentful
also
about them, and then I have like a long dialogue, and then afterward I'm like, what? Why was I doing this? Like, what the hell?
and then reality happens, and
yes.
something else comes. So yeah, totally agree.
So people who feel the fear should still come. People who don't feel fear, who feel that it's a challenge and it sounds exciting, should also come and try it out.
But it even cannot be a challenge for them. It can be just feeling good. Just
totally
finding
agree.
yourself and just
Flowing.
get into the ecstasy with yourself.
Yeah.
It's like everything is possible there.
Exactly.
It
Actually,
depends
yeah.
what are you seeking.
Yeah, you create your own experience.
Exactly.
My own class was, I think I felt excitement about it, and that I can try something new, and it was a really fun experience. And I know you guys had a lot of magnificent results already. You've been working on this, but simply in a one-on-one setting, mostly.
Right.
Yeah.
And even, for example, in our group classes, we're still teaching social dances, and slowly we
plant seeds.
We plant seeds from those ideas into the normal salsa or tango class. And even like with those small seeds, the people have been like so, how I would say, opened up and like experiencing those new feelings. And this has been so rewarding. And we wanted to not have it 20 or 30% of the class of that kind of ideas, but we wanted to have the full circle, full group moving towards that. And we want to experience what kind of energy and what kind of new emotions, new directions can this group pull, because again, this group is an invitation by itself. So
this class that you're planting the seeds in a class, one of my great friends who's also a dancer, he went to your class recently and was like, wow, this was such a different experience from anything I've ever experienced in dancing. Like, what was that? And then it was really feeling like flying high, and like this that this day is a celebration. Like you somehow like Christmas arrived, or I think he described it like that. It was like Christmas had arrived, that it was, I think, beginning of the day, and then the rest of the day it was just like, oh yeah, just like walking around like super happy, and everything worked. And I was like, wow, that's magic. Another friend was also like, wow, the difference that you make is unbelievable. It's actually very, very different from simply learning moves.
exactly.
And learning a specific dance.
But
it's
also
like learning
without
life.
learning a move, you cannot move. So this is very important part in
like
a human
yeah,
life.
like learning
to
to
learn
walk.
how to move.
Like learning to walk is basically mechanical learning. Of course, it's natural for us, and dancing is natural for us. We just have to unlock it. So this is quite important. It's just, I think what Preet meant by moving is learning like a sequence of, like you put your hand
Yes.
up, and that doesn't have any feeling connected to it. Now you twist your head. Why did I twist my head? I have no idea why I twisted my head.
This is what I wanted to continue. That for dancers, it can be even more interesting, because now they will find a purpose of lifting the hand up.
Right.
The purpose of moving your body. Why they taught me to do this?
Right.
Yes. And now it will be real.
Yeah, you actually feel it also. That can be quite vulnerable feeling in the beginning, that, oh, I actually feel this, and I'm not just, it's not like this learning a language that, if I do X, you do Y, you know.
Exactly.
I make this movement, then you lift your hand up. And then it's like a social agreement that, you know, we know a different language, and then we just go through all of these motions and we're just like, thank you, great, that worked well, you know, but zero connection. I have one story about this. I think I had danced for half a year, and then I was then already like really into it, the couples dances, and then learned I think like 3-4 hours a day, every day a social, you know, and then 2-3 hours of lessons. And then the social came, and there was one woman who I only saw at socials. I really loved to dance with her. And then I saw her, I invited her to dance, and then I really wanted to show all the things that I had learned. I was like, oh, I have learned so many combinations you can't imagine. I didn't say that, but I basically like did like the entire dance in a row, like repeated 0 movements, you know, did like everything that
Goal
came
achieved.
up. Yeah, like such level achieved. And then the dance ended, and she was like, wow, yeah, there were so many different moves, but maybe next song we can really dance. And I was like, oh, ouch, okay. and then it was like, took it back to basically only a few moves, but really connecting as well. And that was such a big lesson. I think it's just life teaches so valuably these lessons. If you just are open enough to receive them, not be like, what do you mean? Why did you tell me this? You know, I made a perfect dance for you.
Right.
Ungrateful woman.
Yeah, ungrateful woman. I will
I
find
learned all
someone
those
else now.
steps. And
Yes.
you are my subject for now. Enjoy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's absolutely. And I think like what you mentioned is the same thing what we do in life. It's like, you know, like, I don't know, like, I went to work, I worked, I did this, I brought you this. So it means you should enjoy it. You should appreciate it. And actually, I don't know, like, for example, from the side of men, what women want is they want to feel seen, or they want to feel embraced. They don't want maybe just, you know, like, I bought you this car last year, and I bought you this apartment, and I don't know, like, or I'm like this kind of physical, or like this kind of moves, as you were saying, like, I did move number 1, I did move number 2. It means you should appreciate me. It means you should love me. It means you should, but actually what the other person is trying to tell you something else. I'm trying to tell you something else. So
Fabulous, guys. Let's wrap this up with a short summary then. So a practice, also like I guess it's a healing practice as well, giving access to yourself, inner self. Numa, yes. So giving through movement, through connection, through music, and you can access much more that is in your body. You can shut down the monkey mind for once and really learn to listen to the signals, and first notice what the signals are, then connect with a partner, someone, see what happens then, and then connect with a larger group and the social setting, the circle.
right.
And who's it for? Dancers, non-dancers, everyone wanting to have fun or confront fears, or
Any kind of gender.
Yes.
All
any way you would identify yourself, he, she,
Right.
they, them, you know,
All of
Z, everything works. And the important point, I remember, you know, you said that it's not that you have to do everything. Everything is an invitation. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you can accept or reject, or basically go in the pace that the slowest part of you wants to go, you know, and accept that. And then you feel comfortable and you can go through that.
Beautiful.
And then next one, 7th of January then.
Right.
Information will be up soon.
Absolutely.
And I'm really looking forward to participating in that as well.
And also, if anyone is curious to experience that in one-on-one, then they can reach out to me or to Arina, and we'll be more than happy to work with them.
So how can you be reached?
There is a website. It's work in progress still. Part of it is done, but you can reach us on Facebook, or you can reach us by email. We can share it in the podcast details.
Mhm. Fabulous. Thank you so much, guys. It's
Thank you,
been
Frit.
Thank
a
you,
lot of
Frit.
fun.
We too.
Keep smiling.
And see you on the movement floor. See you on the
Yes.
dance floor then.
Yes, see you there. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.